This story takes place in seventh grade. My last two videos, I was talking about how I was getting bullied. This is kind of a part three, but I wanted to tell you about another experience that actually stood on with me. And this is actually about sports. Remember when I mentioned I was on the track team in one of those videos? Well, here we go. So it all started with this. Everyone knew me as an athletic kid, despite me getting picked in almost every gym event last. But my coach, well, really my gym teacher, really knew about my potential and stuff. He was a coach for track during for high school, for the high school kids, but he taught at a middle school. But he also semi-coached the middle school team. I really don't know much about that. I'm not sure. But most of the team was actually already recruited when he got me. I wasn't even planning on running track that year. Even someone else was like, "Oh, is he actually joining us?" But they didn't mean it in no rude way. And I decided to join. I was like, forget it. Why not? Like, why not try it out for the one time? So for the track meets, or really the events, what I did was the 100-meter sprint, the 200-meter sprint, the 4x1 relay, the 4x2 relay, and the people that were on the team were people from my school. It was like 4 middle schools that were all part of the division, and whoever went to those 4 middle schools all went to that one same high school. It was kind of like that all over my city. That's another time to explain, but that's how that worked. So it was people from my school, and it was actually some people from my junior football team. Because even though our school had a name, I don't know why there was just no team. I think there was, and they just never announced it. I guess it was something you had to do online. I don't really care. Everything was going well for the first few practices. Really, I believe it was the first month of practice. I'm not exactly positive on what it was. But there is this one guy who will be the antagonist of this story. And his name is Tyson. Tyson was known at my school to be extremely confident. He was arrogant. He was cocky. Like, this guy was so delusional in his abilities. He thought he could beat every 7th and 8th grader in a fight. I'm not even lying. He said that, and then whenever someone tried pressing up about it, he will never fight. But why would you say that, And he also believed he was the fastest. Really, he just thought he was better at everything. He thought he was the most handsome. He thought he was the most athletic. He thought he was the strongest. I can keep on going. And the worst part is that I proved many, many times that I was faster than this guy. But I don't know what it was, man. He denied it all the time. And the worst part is that he was nowhere close to the fastest. Like, he was not faster than me or even other people that weren't faster than me. And this is not even a knack at the people that weren't faster than me. Like, when I tell you this guy was delusional in his abilities, he was. It was up top. Now, right there's a reason why I mentioned all those personality attributes. Now, the first meet comes up, and it was at our school. It was nice. It was kind of nice seeing all the enemy teams pull up to us, bus by bus. Honestly, it was kind of giving me chills, because coming from a guy that plays football, like, as I said, no, that's a story for another time. I'm not going to budge too much into that. But, it was giving me chills. We were practicing, warming up, and then there were these guys that my teammates knew about, and they were hyping up these guys at speed and all that, And then, the Tyson guy figured out. He was like, no way this guy is about to, join us and, be in the relays and stuff, right? They were afraid of him. Mind you this, personally, me at that time, I think I actually matched up to another guy's speed that they were hyping up. But Tyson just kept on downplaying me. I don't know what it was, man. As I said, I proved it many, many times. I was faster than him and faster than most people, but he wouldn't admit it. I was literally the 3rd fastest on the track team, and the coach knew that. He downplayed my speed, knowing what I could do. He just never wanted to give me any credit, and it was very frustrating. Then our 4x1 relay comes up. I forgot the exact order. Actually, no, I do remember the order. It was Derek, then it was me. Me being second is very important. Then it was Ace, and then it was Tyson. So, we do our meet. The whistle goes off. And when we're doing the relay, I don't know how everyone else does it, but when Derek came up to me, he said, stick, as I'm running, and he says, stick. He hands me the stick and he yells, go. So I grab the stick and I'm running, and then I hand it off to Ace. After that, the race went on. When that race ended, I went into the middle where everybody rejuvenates before they do their event. And then everyone on the track team is giving me dirty looks. Not everyone, but like I would say like a good 85%. I don't know what I did. I was confused. I'm just thinking people are giving me funny looks just cuz. That's when Tyson was blaming me for everything. I'm like, what did I do? I'm so confused. He's getting on me talking about like, why didn't you grab the stick earlier? Why weren't you running? It was so bad. And believe it or not, the other two guys in the relay with us wasn't on me at all. If anything, they were on my side. They were like, dude, he made a mistake, like back off, chill out. It was terrible, bro. Like Tyson was so mad at me. He just kept on complaining, saying, oh my God. He was like this, Kayvon, you are no longer doing the relay with us. I'm like, bro, what did I do that was that bad? These guys aren't even describing what I did that was bad. And, the girls on the team was getting on me about it, talking about what was I doing? Like, I wasn't doing my part. Like, the older kids were looking at me too, even though I was friends with some of the older kids. The friends I was friends with from the older kids group, they weren't on me at all. They didn't really care what happened. If anything, they were just as confused as me on what I was getting blamed by. Like, there was this dude who did shot put, and he was short and just not built like very athletically. He was good at football on the O-line. I will give him that. But this dude nowhere like close to match my speed at all. And I guess I made people so mad. Like, people came up to him and told him what happened because he was wondering what was going on. The dude was irritated, paused, took a deep breath, and he was like this. You know what, bro? I take back everything I said about you, bro. You're slow, and I'm done. And I'm just confused, like, what? So for the rest of the meet, people gave me dirty looks. But mind you this, we did the 4x2, right? And then we switched around. And I guess I went first. When that happened, we came in second place, and we were hyped up. I'm even asking what place did we come into? And, let me see. Ace, he was the one that told me that came in second place. And Ace, if you're seeing this story, bro, like I'm glad that you honestly appreciate me. Like me, you played on the football team, bro. You knew about my athletic abilities. Same with you, Derek. Even though we played for op teams, like, you also see who I was. So, after that, we came in second place, but the next school day comes up. Bro, people are still getting on me about that relay. I'm talking about people that weren't even on the track team were getting on me. Literally, like, it was that bad. Like, everyone was on my nuts all day. My friends were like, bro, what did you do that bad for everyone to get on you? Like, people in my class are talking about you. I'm like, you're telling me that other people in other classes are talking about me? You're telling me I caused this much of a riot over one event? They were like, what were you doing? Why didn't you grab the stick earlier? Some guys were even saying that my spot was going to be taken away sometime this week. The funniest part is that one of the main guys that was doing it was the shot put guy that I mentioned earlier. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Shot put? Yeah, you get my point. He was the main one literally like doing that, like like someone's going to replace you. And it was him. And I'm like, dude, you play on the fucking offensive line on football and you think you're going to take my spot. All week, he kept on saying it. Then he even thought he had a confirmation. He was like this, yeah, Kayvon, your spot for the 4x1 is taken. I'm like, okay, whatever. He was like this, you could do the 4x2 though. And then I was like, nah, if my 4x1 spot is taken, you can do the 4x2 and I can do the sprints. Because not to brag for me at that time, I know I could do the sprints and come in first place or even second or third. Like, once again, these guys clearly didn't know that my athletic abilities were up there. I didn't care anymore though. It was a pain to deal with that all week. And, practices start again. And Tyson is still going, man. And we had more people that joined us. It was like newer people. They didn't last long. I don't know why. Like, they didn't even last that whole week of practice. But this dude was still getting on me. He even told the new people that happened. He was like this, we could have run the race if it wasn't for this dude. Like, like he kept on going. He was like, bro, please replace this guy. He's so slow. When he kept on going and going and going. I even remember that same practice, I came up to him asking him a genuine question. It was just me and him at that moment. He was putting on his, his spikes. And I was like, I asked him a question. I forgot what it was, yada, yada, yada. And he was like this, yeah, nah, whatever. I just don't want you on the relays because we lost because of your ass. I'm like, dude, like, it's so bad. I can't even ask you a question. Like, you just want to make this harder for me, don't you? So, everyone been moved on other than him, even though everyone is still a follower. You know how the social hierarchy is at school. You know, everyone got over, as I said. And we had another track meet in the middle of the year. And this track meet right here is very important. So during this track meet, I believe it was the 100 meter, if not 200 meter sprint. I beat this guy, I'll call Johnson for this story, who's actually very important for later. You know, I beat him, and I beat him by far. I'm not even joking. I literally beat him by far. You know, we both talk and respect each other. And, you know, this guy is important for later. Remember the name Johnson. Now, here comes the season finale of this story. It's championship time. And this part is still going to teach you so much, especially if you're young, man. So I was still on the relay team. There was nothing that Tyson guy could do. Like all year, he tried replacing me when everyone been moved on. And, you know, he just couldn't get over it. You know, it's championship time. We have bigger moments to worry about. Now, Johnson and Tyson both seen each other, and they were both talking trash to each other. Not even lying. And this is exactly why I said Johnson is important. You know, and me and Johnson, we seen each other. We said, what's up? And then we moved on. You know, we're enemies, man. We can't be friends right now. You know, and I'm going against this guy literally in the relay. Now, relay time comes up for us. I don't remember if it was the 4x100 or 4x200. And I was lined up first. I forgot how the order exactly went later, but just know that Tyson was up next. So I beat the dude that I was lined up with. Not just the dude, all the guys. I dusted them so hard. I literally ran quick. This is the time that matters. Championship time. It's big. I dust all these guys. I have one of the biggest head starts all year. I give Tyson the stick, and Johnson was the one next on the enemy team. So I'm like, Tyson, this is your perfect opportunity, man. You gotta do it. You know, the guy gives Johnson the stick. Tell me why this dude, Johnson, catches up to Tyson, but not only catches up, he beats him so bad. So unbelievably bad. Like, it was actually terrible. Like, we got dusted. I just knew we came in last when I watched it. I literally had to watch it from my own spot. I'm like, dude, this is bad. Right after, man, that karma hit Tyson like a brick, dude. What happened to me during the first meet happened to him. Everyone blamed him. Remember when I said that those guys in the relay were on my side, both Derek and Ace? Ace was actually blaming him. I'm like, this is so bad. You got the dudes on a relays who was defending me last time on your bad side. Like, they're on your bad side now, bro. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, dude, karma is really coming his way. Everybody was on him. Everybody, dude. And then I went home. And I'm not gonna lie, even though I had a chance to really get on him, I really didn't. What's the point when I know how it feels to be the scapegoat? It really just goes to show that, like, you're just going to be a scapegoat no matter what, so everyone can find a way to cope on how they lost. That's why I never got on him. And I think it was weeks later, we both ended up getting our medals. All of us did. We both got bronze medals. He came up to me in the hallway, asked me, did I get my medals? I showed him. We both flexed it. And we moved on. And I'm not going to lie. I got to say this, man. Even with how annoying he was with his confidence, that was something I always admired about him. You know, he had something that I wish I had, and it was confidence. It was something that I lacked. And I hope after that experience with track, we both learned a lesson. And honestly, I think you guys can go on with these lessons too. It just really goes to show that everyone will feel comfortable coming at you. People follow narratives once they're established. You will be an easy target due to social hierarchy. One person blaming you turns into everyone blaming you. Even people that won't be involved will feel comfortable criticizing you. This showed me how I viewed social groups. And I'm not going to lie, man. After that, 8th grade, I didn't run track for those reasons. I wasn't in the mood to deal with all that blaming again. And if I was confident at that time, I would have ran again. Fear took over my life. That's a subject for another time. And, you know, just take these lessons if you're young doing sports. People will really just get on you no matter what. And those people that were on me earlier, other than Tyson, some of those people were actually substitutes for the championship. So either they just didn't come or they had normal clothes just spectating. None of these people were really bad athletes. Or if they were there, they came like lower than 5th. That's what I'm saying, man. And I view this era of track differently. Shout out to the coaches and the other students that were my buddies that made it easier for me. I hope y'all enjoy this video. Take care. Peace out. Love y'all.